It is a dreary Monday morning. The clouds are out and we're headed to work for another week of confusion and chaos. It's kind of been nuts lately, if I'm being honest, between everything that's going on with the channel and what's going on with the shop. But the only way through it is forward. So, we got a few things to do on the twin turbo drag truck. We have a few things to do on the daily driver Denali. So let's jump right in and see what we can knock out this week. Everyone knows the price of fuel is going up, which is a real bummer. But to help offset some of those costs and put some money back in your pocket, you need to download the Upside app. Now, I just started using Upside myself, but it's a free app that helps you earn cash back on purchases that you're already making every single day. Whether you're filling up the truck with gas, buying some groceries, or getting some lunch, Upside is going to give you cash back in your pocket, not just some useless points that collect that you're never going to use. So here's how it works. You just open the Upside app and start browsing the offers. I mean, I can go to Maverick and get 55 cents off a gallon of premium. We can go down to Circle K, 58 cents, 48 cents off at 7-Eleven. Or if we want to grab some lunch, we go to Burger King, 32% cash back. We go down to Jose Muldoon's, good Mexican restaurant in the area, 6% cash back. Papa John's, 30% cash back. And once you've claimed your offer, just pay with your card like normal and boom, get paid. That's it. There are over 100,000 participating locations, and in my area, there are tons of options to choose from. I just started using Upside, but I can already see how quickly the cash back is going to add up because we're using it for things we already buy every single day. Upside has given back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you could earn, download the free Upside app and use promo code Tolman to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code Tolman. One of my goals for today is to finish up the cooling system on the twin turbo drag truck, and we need really two parts. First, we need a place to fill coolant with a radiator cap, and two, we need a place to return coolant from the turbochargers back into the system. Now, my whole plan revolves around using one of these remote inline fill cap deals, but I bought a couple of them. I was not satisfied with any of them, so naturally, I bought some raw materials, and I'm gonna build my own. Seems like every last part of this project requires fabrication and therefore a lot of time. And that's unfortunately one of the reasons why this is going so slow. It's frustrating to see other people build projects and get them started and finished in less time, but I hate cutting corners. And that's the one thing that that's kind of like a little feather in my cap is I don't care how long it takes. when I'm done with it, it's going to be right. So this does wrap up pretty much the engine side of the cooling system. Of course, we do have to do a few more modifications, push back the transcooler and then add the intercooler for the turbos. But as far as the engine goes, this is pretty much it. From stock, we've eliminated the expansion tank. We've rerouted the heater hoses to go on the cooler side of the turbo. We have now our custom inline fill cap and turbo coolant return. We will have a low pressure expansion tank over here. But yeah, a lot of little plumbing and welding and fabrication to get this done, but I'm very happy with how it turns out. It does stick up a little bit, but there's a mile of room. I can get my whole hand and then some in between there in the hood, if you're wondering. So, one more item crossed off the list. So about 2,000 miles ago, we re-geared the truck from 323 to 373, and we did a draggy run before we changed anything. It was the 323 gears with an aftermarket, just generic tuner on it, 15 to 75, and I think we did it was in the low 9 seconds, like 9.15, 9.30, something like that. After we did the 373 gear swap, I was expecting it to be quicker. But because of the way that the tuning went, it had a huge delay on like the 1-2 shift. It was actually a little bit slower. But now we hopefully have corrected that. I've been working with John from BMS Tuning. I'll put his info below. He volunteered and he said, hey, I can help you out. I can make this truck actually do what it's supposed to do. Typically I do my own tuning, but with these Gen 5 trucks, I haven't quite jumped in. But like I said, John wrote me a couple of files, and now we're gonna go see if we actually made the truck quicker just by, doing things like correcting the shift points and making the truck run like it should. So, let's let her rip.
30. 60. 60.
All right, so the tuning process is rolling along nicely, and we've already got the 15 to 75 draggy numbers where they should be, much quicker than they were with the factory 323 gears and the aftermarket programmer. So, very, very happy. Shout out to John from BMS Tuning for helping us out with that. We'll be doing some more tuning in the future, but for now, I've got a couple of goodies that we need to install on the Sierra. One, we've got ourselves a pinion wedge. Get a slight vibration at like 90 miles an hour. We have a wideband that'll come in handy when we're doing some tuning. And then finally, we're doing flex fuel. Well, in true Tolman performance fashion, this is turning into a rapidly snowballing project that could leave us stranded if what I'm about to attempt goes wrong. This is the little connector that the kit gives you to install the flex fuel sensor. You plug one end in here, and this is supposed to loop around and make life easy and painless, which it's not because this is too short. I chose this kit because it puts the sensor back here, not up in the engine bay. But anyway, I digress because we're sidetracked. I am going to attempt to cut the factory stainless steel hardline that goes from here all the way to the engine. I'm going to attempt to reflare it because I have one of the OEM quick connect style flaring tools. But if this fails, I will have just effectively ruined the fuel line. So, wish me luck. I've already gone ahead and marked where our cut is going to be. Here goes nothing. And actually, this may work out way better once it's installed, because instead of doing a big tight loop, the line will just have a nice gradual bend and connect right here. I will say I did also try to find some factory hard lines for the flex fuel sensor. I got all the part numbers from GM, but there's a couple pieces that are on back order / not being made any longer. So we're trying this. Boom. That is officially the point of no return. So now I have to recreate that on the end of that. Aha! I think we've done it. And of course, $1 million test, does it leak? It does not, and we are in business. Also, on these trucks, it's kind of nice, the flex fuel sensor plug is right here. So this extension harness just makes it easier. I'll zip tie that out, but we're in business. This little project is the perfect example of why things end up taking so much time. It's like, I bought a kit, it was supposed to fit, this should have been like a 10-minute install, but everything wasn't quite, whether it was as described or the way they wanted it installed wasn't very good, in my opinion, but that's all right. We were able to salvage the pieces that we got in the kit, and in my opinion, we now have a much better installation at the cost of my whole afternoon. So anyway, it's in. Very happy with it. The only thing I may do, two things actually. One, I'm going to find some of those OEM little stainless backup clips that kind of go in there. It'll work for now, but that's just kind of a secondary layer of, I don't know, backup, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll probably make a little bracket at some point to stop this guy from kind of wiggling around. But for now, it's in. And it works. Now, do we need flex fuel or E85 on a stock truck? No, definitely we do not, but we are going to be supercharging this truck someday, and since we're in the tuning mode right now, I figured why not install the functionality. So we did. What do we think, guys? 22s on the drag truck? Probably wouldn't look bad. Amazing what a brand new drill bit can do. There's one more project done this week, and the week is done. It is now Friday evening, just about 6 p.m. and I feel like it's Monday morning at 10 a.m. It's how quick these weeks go by. I feel like I'm pulled a million different directions. I don't know, it's insane. Anyway, I'm not complaining. This is what I signed up for. Here's the numbers for the pinion angle before and after. We went from a 4.5 degree difference to a 2.5 degree difference. Just pretty basic pinion wedge angle stuff. Hopefully that cures the vibration. I tried to find a 3 degree steel bolt-in wedge for 2.5 inch leaf springs. Couldn't find one, so we put a 2 in. Maybe we go to a 4. Anyway, the week is over. I got a few things done. The intercooler did show up finally. I've been waiting on this for, like, I initially tried to order it in February, but it was constantly on back order. But that's a 4.5-inch thick, 1,500 horsepower capable intercooler, of course, twin inlets for the drag truck. So we have more work to do. We accomplished some this week. We'll see what next week brings. Whew, man, it's been a week. And of course, it's time for the after the video brain dump technical info unload, which hopefully you guys find interesting, because I'm like, the way my brain works is technical info. I'm not, as much as I want to be, I'm not an entertainer. I'm a builder and educator, maybe. Maybe that's the word for what I do. I don't know. But anyway, there's always some questions you guys post in the comments, so I figured we'll try to cover some of those before they come up. Flex fuel on the 2018, pretty simple. Like we showed in the video, I didn't really like how the kit worked at all, but I'm actually happy with the result. Yeah, we don't really need flex fuel on a naturally aspirated truck, but my ultimate goal, I want to have it supercharged, LT4, high pressure fuel pump and injectors, flex fuel. I'd like 600, 700, 800 horsepower from that truck, maybe. It's still a daily driver, kind of. But anyway, so the flex fuel is working great on there now. Haven't done any draggy runs. Still in the 2018, the wedge for the pinion angle. It definitely improved the vibration we have at higher speeds. There's still a 2-degree difference between the angle of the engine coming downhill and the pinion angle going up. You allow a little bit of difference, so under acceleration the pinion climbs and you don't go over 0. There's still a little vibration there, still a stock drive shaft, but within 2 degrees I think we should be fine. But anyway, in the future we are going to lower the truck further, probably do like a 3.5 drop, which will do a flip kit, shackle reverse in the rear, which will throw all of our stuff out the window anyway for pinion angle. We'll have to redo it at that point. On the twin turbo truck, you saw we got the cooling system finished up. I'm just doing a little bit of shopping now for some parts for the intercooler. I'm thinking of trying these knockoff HD clamps, because the real ones are absurdly expensive. $229 for a clamp assembly. That just blows my mind. I mean, Vibrant is good stuff, don't get me wrong, but holy cow, that, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 clamps. So yeah, we'll spend $1,200 on clamps. But I do want to try something a little bit nicer than silicone couplers. So I use some Evil Energy stuff, and it seems to work out pretty good. So we'll try it on that for a fraction of the cost. What else were we going to talk about? I know we still have a ton to do on the 4-wheel drive twin turbo. I mean, we got bigger injectors, bigger pump to do. Now that the intercooler's here, though, we should finally start to be making some progress. Tuning-wise, on the 2018, I did have to upgrade my HP tuners. I've been using the MPVI-1 forever, since 2015, I think. But it wouldn't read the TCM on the new truck, so I had to upgrade to the MPVI-4. And then the laptop, my old laptop that I had it didn't have the USB-C port, and I couldn't figure it out. So we got a new laptop also. And that's kind of what's going on in the project. Things are going a little bit slow. It's been insane at work. We've been trying to find a good technician to help us out at the shop. We're a repair business. We don't do any like high performance or custom work at the shop. We just do general everyday repair work, and it has been so difficult finding a qualified technician who is actually willing to show up to work. I mean, the automotive repair industry right now is pretty crazy. And yeah, like we hired a guy about a month ago, and he showed up for worked for about a week and a half, and then he just ghosted us. He quit showing up, and he called us a week and a half later. He's like, "Yeah, I need to get my toolbox." Okay. I mean, it just stuff like that. And I think we have another guy hired. But I called him up and I was like, "You can bring your box on Monday," and crickets. So that's 2 days from now. It's Saturday. But I often joke that stress is what causes the hair loss. It's not that, but there definitely is a lot of stress. You saw we finished filming the video Friday at 6. It's Saturday at
4:37 p.m. right now. We're doing the edit, and it's like, oh man, I'm burning the candle at both ends. So anyway, that's a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on with me. But we'll figure it out. Thanks, guys.